Today we're going to do an August tour, and I didn't get everything up to par the way I'd hoped. We're going to fly with it because we had rain and quite a bit of it overnight, and this is the best time to show you the garden because everything is so fresh looking, even though the weeds have really taken over. But they're hard to control, especially in the months of July and August. So let's get started. Right behind me is the corn, a small corn patch. Had a harvest recently. Let's check it out and check out everything else and see where all the hard work we put into the garden, where it really pays off, and it's such a blessing. And I kind of let things go wild. I trim back a little bit here and there, but we really enjoy the greenery very much. It reminds us of the country. This year we only planted 2 rows of corn, and a robin took out one of the first rows of the small corn plants. And I shook the corn at one stage just to make sure that it got pollinated. So quite a bit of it did pollinate, some of it didn't. So far we've had 5 ears of corn all on the grill, and my husband, he just loves it, and so do I. But this is the Three Sisters garden, and we have pole beans, bush beans, and pumpkin growing through here also. We only have a few okra plants, but they're doing very well, and I harvested some I need to cook up real soon. The okra flowers are beautiful. I'll just show you a quick pictorial of the garden, and then we'll do the more thorough tour coming up.
So I found the strength to say it was harder than catching the moon. And when the words fell out, I saw the warmth filling the room. So I gathered the strength to lift it, and you picked it up and laid it down, and you picked me up and I am found. It's without a cause. Sometimes it's just because I think we found it. Oh yeah, we found it again. It never faded, 'cause you created. And then I found the spark in, whoa, the spark in you. Got easier to see it. The glow, it came pulsing this time. So when you really felt it, I saw the flame grow in your eyes. I finally let my guard down, open up the blinds, saw through, open up my heart, you came through. Oh, oh, oh. It's without a cause. Sometimes it's just because I think we found it. Yeah, we found it again. It never faded, 'cause you created. And then I found the spark in, whoa, the spark in you. The spark in you. It never faded, 'cause you created. And then I found the spark in, whoa, the spark in you.
Well, you know what? It started raining. It started pouring down, so I had to go inside, and now I'm ready to finish the tour. And we're going to check out the patio first because we have a problem with this patio. We've had a problem with it for years. Now, this is part of the garden. I included it as part of the garden. So we wanted to look good, but yet we don't want to spend a lot of money. That's the problem we're having. Then we'll go on and we'll go to the back of the yard, look at all the vegetables too. And in between, we'll catch some flowers. And here's our patio where we sit if we have a barbecue, we want to eat outside. We don't sit out here very often. I wanted to get an umbrella and we just haven't found the time to get to Menards to buy an umbrella. But that way, because we have a lot of sun that comes through here, we can sit out here during the day when the sun's out. But we need a sun blocker, which would be a nice umbrella. So we have a lot of improvements. That's a very easy improvement to make. But the costly improvement would be to improve the porch or replace it altogether. That would really be costly. This needs redone, yeah, or filled in with cement. And there's just very worn over time. It's really hard to keep the weeds out from between the pavers. They're very old and we need all of this replaced. And we just don't have it in our budget right now to do this. But we need to keep saving money for these projects. And you see there's the zinnia garden. I planted it very close to the patio. So if they bother us while we're eating, the bees, are attracted to whatever we're eating. Usually it's something sweet like honey barbecue sauce on some meat that we're grilling. And that's what happened the other day. But the zinnias have gotten a lot taller than I expected. I mean, they really took off. I did give them a little compost manure, and I also put the leaves down that I use for compost, and they seem to really be liking that. But I grow these to put in vases and also for the pollinators. And they love it, believe me. We see hummingbirds and lots of finches. Finches, you can see where the finches have eaten through to get to the flower part that they like, and the petals just fall off. It's so much fun to watch. Then sometimes you have a little crown left on top. That's where the pollen is, and you'll see a bumblebee on that. I don't see that right now. I think the bumblebees already got the pollen from that. But there's plenty more flowers for the finches and bumblebees to enjoy. This was from about 3/4 of a pack of zinnia seeds. And I planted some more out back. And that pack of zinnia seeds was well spent. And the cottage garden is doing very well. But that plant right there is doing very well. That's my new perennial. It's a sedum, stone crop, upright. And it's supposed to be red in the fall, or like a really dark pink. Okay, and then the basils just love the rain, and they are really doing well. Basil plants, I think that was a good investment too, because we can just come out here whenever we need it. And it makes great garnishes on food, or even as an appetizer. You can use it as part of an appetizer with cheese and tomatoes. And we have a lot of tomatoes that we harvested. But everything's just fallen in place. Now I could trim the aster down again, but eventually that lavender will get bigger, will get taller. Speaking of that, I've got one that's overtaken by the morning glory. And this is not the kind of morning glory most people like. This is wild white morning glory. I love the look of it. It has a peaceful look, almost like a white lily, but it has really taken over. So I'll be working on this area. See how it took over the lavender? And the bees, they still get on this, even though it's overtaken. There's a lot of work I need to do. The 4 o'clocks, I need to weed out the 4 o'clocks a little bit too, but they're not too bad. They're not in bloom right now. They'll bloom in the early afternoon. And sometimes it's late afternoon. I've came out here before and they were bloomed in the morning, so I don't know. The 4 o'clocks have their own agenda. We have harvested 3 or 4 eggplants already, and they're not even supposed to put out this many, so it's a good year for eggplant, and I'm glad I grew it. But I gotta remember, I gotta cook it. I gotta use it in some eggplant parmesan. That's my husband's favorite, or some other appetizers, maybe just some roasted eggplant. I'm hoping he'll like that. Yeah, these have been a blessing this year. The only problem is I think they overshadowed the pepper plants, but they are getting taller, and this rain seemed to really help them. There's that little one even looks better, and they're developing buds. That's a good sign. And boy, look at that. I should protect this one somehow. It just is long and lanky, and maybe I should just put a cage over it. I'll figure it out. I might have a cage available because the cucumber is dying. It produced a lot of cucumbers, and there's 2 other plants that are still alive. But this one, the plant I could see is dying off. The leaves have wilted. So we'll be taking care of that. And this tomato is almost done, but it still has, we just want these tomatoes to ripen as much as possible. And let's see how this tomato plant is past its prime, and the leaves have developed brown on them. I don't know if it has blight or not. It might, and that one too is starting to get brown. So, but it's been great for better and bigger boys this year. We got one of each. This is a better boy, and this is a bigger boy, and they have produced a lot of tomatoes. It's been a blessing. Monarch was on the milkweed, and they lay eggs on the leaves. And then every year we have little tiny monarchs. We don't see a whole bunch of them at once. They just kind of appear out of nowhere. And this milkweed, we just let it go. And I know that it might interfere with some of the other plants. And sometimes I do have to pull it, and because it starts acting like a weed, and then I have to get rid of it in certain places. But we're going out here now. I'm going to try to go slow. And we'll take a look over here. This is the watermelon. And I grew it up by this fence here. I wasn't sure how this would work. My idea that it would grow on the fence line, and I would have to use I guess I was dreaming, a sling or something so that it wouldn't break the stem. The watermelon that's growing on the fence line doesn't have any females. And I noticed there's a lot more male watermelon flowers than females.
We do have one that pollinated.
I got to be careful around this plant. Watermelon stems are very delicate. I think there's some little babies. I don't know if they pollinated or not, because I never get out here early enough to pollinate watermelon, and you really have to pollinate it like 4 times. And it requires more pollination than what the pumpkin plants do, from what I understand. And these are Charleston Grays. I don't want to touch them. They are very delicate. I think that one pollinated. I hope so. Now the pole beans, they haven't produced any flowers yet, but I believe they're starting to produce buds. We'll get over here closer. Yes, it's on a trellis. I have it on a trellis here. So I'm excited about that. But the bush beans, oh, that's a different story now. They're starting to they've been flowering for over a week now, some of them. Yep, see, this one's got flowers. And I believe the tiny little green beans, you can see those. There's some that are a little bit bigger. I want them to get bigger. I like them when they're bigger at the larger stage.
Before I zoomed in very closely, I thought this was a lightning bug. Oh, there it went.
You know what? I think it was a little squash bug borer. Oh, well, who knows? I think it just developed its wings recently. It just took off. There's a bunch of something. I don't know what they are. Some kind of insects. Some kind of bees that seem to like the corn pollen. So let them go for it, because they got to do their thing. It's part of the ecosystem. And they're not going to hurt it anyway. Okay, the pumpkins. Yeah, this is where Okie Eden takes a great interest, and he's a wonderful pumpkin grower in Oklahoma.
We are growing jack-o'-lantern variety and sugar pie.
A good-sized sugar pie, they get up to 8 pounds. But the jack-o'-lanterns are supposed to get even bigger. Now this is elongated, a very long jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. Wow. If they get too long and lanky, they may not even be able to stand up. I may have to lean them against something, because I plan on using the jack-o'-lantern pumpkins for decor, fall decor. And here's another jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. I didn't have to do any pollinating myself. The bees, because of all the blossoms that we have, I thought I was going to have to put some kind of borage or some kind of flowers out here to attract them, but the blossoms are doing it. Yeah, we have a slew of bees, all different kinds of bees, and they seem to love this garden. Now, here's a jack-o'-lantern that's real long and skinny, almost looks like a watermelon. I don't have any idea what this is about, but it's kind of interesting. I'm afraid I'm going to get stung. There's a lot of bees through here. And here's another, this is a sugar pie, I believe, yeah. We have a combination, and if they mix together, I don't have a problem with it. I'm fine with that. Thanks for watching today. I'd like to show you more, but we ran out of time. In the next video, I hope to be doing some work out here. And hopefully it won't be as hot as what it's getting right now. It feels like it's already in the 80s. Sometimes after the rain comes, the heat comes in, a heat wave comes in. That feels exactly what happened. I mean, we had rain and it was muggy and cloudy, and then all of a sudden the sun popped out and now it's super hot. Well, I hope you have a great weekend and happy garden days. I hope I inspired you in some way, that you learned a little something. I want to see your garden too, so let me know in the comments section so I know you watched this video. If you have a channel, I will check it out. God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you on the next one.